You're coming with me. Maylord or bride saves a dying rich cowboy at the station. Mara adjusted the strap of her small satchel as she stepped off the Starliner onto the busy docking platform. The space station was alive with movement, lights blinking across every terminal and corridor. Ships of all sizes, sleek freighters, bulky transports, and even a few alien vessels lined the docking bays. The air carried a mixture of fuel smells, recycled oxygen, and the faint aroma of freshly synthesized food. This was her first time leaving her home planet, and she felt a flutter of nervous excitement. Mara had been sent here as a Maylorder bride for Logan, a wealthy rancher living on a distant terraformed world called Caladan 7. She didn't know much about him, only that he was rich, reserved, and in need of someone to help manage his life. But for now, her focus was the station. The crowd around her moved quickly, but Mara noticed small details that others overlooked. A tiny cleaning robot skidded across the floor, nearly bumping into a trader carrying a basket of glowing fruits. A small alien child giggled as it floated in a tiny anti-gravity pod, its parents keeping a careful eye. Mara smiled. She loved seeing life in motion. As she stepped toward the transport hub to meet the shuttle that would take her to Caladan 7, she noticed a man slumped against the wall near a docking bay. He was tall, with dusty brown hair and clothes that spoke of wealth but also of constant outdoor work. A small, portable medical scanner hovered nearby, its lights blinking urgently. Mara hesitated for only a moment before moving closer. The man's breathing was uneven and his eyes were half closed. "Excuse me," she said softly, kneeling beside him. "Are you all right?" The man groaned. I calm my head, everything spinning." His words were weak, barely audible over the hum of the station. Mara quickly scanned the hovering medical device. It was a standard emergency unit, but its battery was low and the automated system seemed confused. She reached into her bag and pulled out a small med kit, one she had trained with extensively at a local community clinic back home. "Don't worry," she said, keeping her voice calm. "I can help stabilize you until proper medical staff arrive." The man's eyes widened slightly, a mixture of surprise and relief crossing his face. "You don't even know me," Mara gave a small smile. "Sometimes it's enough to be human. Let me help." She carefully cleaned a small scratch on his temple and applied a cooling gel to help with the dizziness. She adjusted the scanner so that it had better contact with his skin. Slowly, his breathing steadied, and color returned to his cheeks. A station security officer arrived, looking worried. "Is he okay?" she asked. Mara nodded. "He'll be fine. He just needs rest and hydration." The officer looked doubtful but stepped back, allowing Mara to finish her work. Once the man was stable, she helped him sit upright and gave him a sip of water from her own bottle. "Thank you," he said finally, his voice stronger. I don't know how I would have managed without you." Mara shrugged modestly. "Humans have a way of handling emergencies. We notice things, we adapt. You were lucky I was nearby." The man smiled faintly. "Lucky, yes, but I think more than luck brought you here. You care." Mara felt a warmth in her chest at his words. She had come to this station unsure of her purpose, but now she felt useful, even important. "My name is Mara," she said. "And you are?" "Logan," he replied. "Logan Reynolds. I was supposed to take a shuttle to Caladan 7, but—" He gestured weakly at his body. "I don't think I can make it alone." Mara studied him for a moment. His clothes were worn and dusty, the skin of his hands tough from labor, but his eyes reflected a sharp mind. It was clear he had been struggling to manage something, maybe more than just his illness. "You're coming with me," she said firmly. "I'll get you to your shuttle or somewhere safe. You can't go alone in this state." Logan blinked, surprise evident. "You want to help me?" "Of course," Mara said simply. "You can't be left to struggle when someone can help. That's how humans work." He hesitated, then nodded. I don't know how to repay you." "You don't need to," she replied. "Let's just get you to safety first." Mara helped him rise carefully. She placed one arm around his shoulders for support, while guiding him through the busy station corridors. Travelers gave them space as they passed. Many glanced curiously at the human woman helping another human. There was something remarkable about humans, it seemed, in their ability to act quickly, calmly, and with compassion, even in strange places like this. They reached the transport hub, and Mara spotted the small shuttle that would take them toward Caledon 7. She hailed the pilot, explaining Logan's condition. The pilot, a tall alien with violet skin and multiple arms, frowned but nodded. "We can take him, but you'll have to assist during the flight." Mara didn't hesitate. "Of course, I can handle it." As they boarded, Logan sank into the seat, exhausted but relieved. Mara strapped him in and checked the shuttle's medical console, adjusting oxygen levels and temperature. She made sure the small gravity field was stable, then turned her attention to Logan. "You're going to be fine," she said, smiling gently. "Just rest. I'll handle the technical stuff." He gave a weak laugh. "You're surprisingly capable for someone I just met," Mara shrugged. "Humans are like that. We rise to the occasion when needed." The shuttle doors closed and they lifted off, leaving the bustling station behind. Outside, the stars stretched endlessly, a reminder of how small yet significant humans could be in a vast galaxy. Mara glanced at Logan, noting the calm beginning to settle on his face. She felt a strange sense of purpose. For the first time in her life, she wasn't just traveling somewhere. She was needed. The shuttle glided smoothly past asteroid belts and floating debris fields, and Mara adjusted the navigational settings when the guidance system began to struggle. She hadn't been trained as a pilot, but she had enough technical knowledge to correct small errors. Logan watched her quietly, admiration growing. "Most humans would panic," he said, his voice faint. "You just handle it," Mara smiled. "Panic rarely solves problems. Observation, thinking, adaptation, that's what helps. Humans are very good at it." As the shuttle approached the outer orbit of Caledon 7, the planet's terraformed landscapes came into view. Wide golden plains, glimmering water canals, and large, dome-shaped ranches dotting the horizon. Logan's eyes brightened slightly, and he took a deep breath, as if feeling hope for the first time in days. Mara helped him stand, supporting him as the shuttle descended. The landing was smooth, and soon they were on the ranch's automated docking platform. Robots and drones buzzed quietly, tending to fields and livestock. Logan's wealth and management style were evident in the efficiency of the operation, but there was a fragility too. Without Logan or someone like Mara, the system would quickly falter. "You saved me back there," Logan said quietly once they were off the shuttle. I don't know what to say." "Don't say anything," Mara replied. "Humans act, that's enough." He looked at her, studying her features as if seeing her for the first time. "You're coming with me," he said, echoing her own words from earlier. "I need you to help me run this place, and maybe more than that." Mara laughed softly. "I came here as a bride," she said, "but I think I was meant for more than that." And as the twin suns of Caledon 7 set over the horizon, casting golden light over the plains, Mara realized that her journey was only beginning. She had stepped into unknown worlds before, but this one, this ranch, this human, this adventure, felt like exactly where she was supposed to be. The morning on Caledon 7 began with a soft golden light stretching across the plains. Mara woke to the gentle hum of the ranch's automated systems, water pumps cycling, drones buzzing overhead, and distant livestock making low calls. Logan was still asleep, his breathing steady but faintly labored. She watched him for a moment, noticing the tension in his face that had finally relaxed. After a quick breakfast of synthesized fruits and fresh bread from the ranch's automated kitchen, Mara began her day. She had promised herself that she wouldn't just be a passive companion. This ranch was Logan's home and livelihood, and if he was too weak to manage it all, she would help him. First, she explored the ranch's control hub, a large room filled with screens, blinking lights, and holographic projections of fields, water canals, and livestock pens. Robots and drones moved efficiently, tending to crops and animals, but there were signs of small malfunctions. Some of the drones were out of sync, a few water valves were off schedule, and the livestock feeding systems occasionally skipped sections. Mara frowned. If this system fails, even for a day, it could be disastrous, she murmured. She rolled up her sleeves and began studying the control panels, noting patterns and errors. Humans were excellent problem solvers, and she had trained herself to observe carefully, think quickly, and act efficiently. Hours passed and Logan finally emerged, leaning on a support cane. He looked around, somewhat embarrassed. "I should be handling this," he said. "But I've been sick for too long," Mara smiled. "You're not failing by being human. Everyone needs help sometimes. Besides, I think we can improve some things together." He raised an eyebrow. "Improve? You've just arrived and already you think you know better." "I don't know everything," she admitted, "but humans are good at noticing details that machines might miss, and I've learned to adapt quickly." Logan studied her for a moment, then nodded. "All right, show me." Together, they walked through the control hub. Mara explained how some of the automated schedules could be adjusted to optimize water usage, reduce energy consumption, and increase efficiency in feeding the livestock. Logan listened, clearly impressed by her observations. By midday, they were ready to test her ideas in the field. Mara climbed into one of the small transport rovers, carefully explaining the controls to Logan. Though he had managed the ranch for years, he hadn't spent much time with the actual systems lately. Mara's calm, step-by-step instructions helped him regain confidence. They drove across the Golden Plains, checking water canals and irrigation lines. Mara noticed a slight misalignment in one of the water pumps. "If this continues, a section of the crops might not get enough water," she said. Using a simple toolkit from her satchel, she adjusted the pump's alignment. Logan watched her with awe. You just fixed that in minutes," he said. Mara shrugged. "Humans are adaptable. We learn from observation and we act." Logan shook his head with a small laugh. "I never thought a bride could be so practical." As the day went on, Mara discovered more ways to improve the ranch's efficiency. She taught the robotic drones to coordinate more effectively, using small signals that only she and Logan could see. She also showed Logan how to detect minor equipment malfunctions before they became serious problems. Every time she solved an issue, Logan's admiration grew. By late afternoon, Mara and Logan had checked every corner of the ranch. Logan's illness made the work slow, but Mara's energy never faltered. She had a natural curiosity and persistence that humans often exhibited when faced with challenges. She didn't give up and she didn't panic, qualities Logan realized he had often lacked. After a long day, they returned to the ranch house, their clothes dusty and the sun setting behind them. Mara leaned against the doorway, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "The ranch is in much better shape than this morning," she said. "You just need to pace yourself and let the systems do their work." Logan nodded, a tired but genuine smile on his face. "I don't know how to thank you. I've managed this place for years, but you make it seem easy." "It's not easy," Mara said. "It's just teamwork. Humans are good at working together and adapting. That's why we survive in difficult situations." He laughed softly. "I guess I underestimated that. I thought machines could do everything, but humans, we bring something special." Mara smiled. "Exactly. Machines are helpful, but humans notice things, improvise, and care. That's the real difference." After dinner, Logan and Mara sat on the porch, watching the twin suns dip below the horizon. The sky was painted in soft oranges and purples, and the air was filled with the distant calls of animals returning to their pens. Logan spoke quietly. "You know," he said, "I didn't expect to meet someone like you. I thought maybe I'd get a quiet companion, someone to help manage the house. But you've done so much more." Mara shrugged. "I just wanted to help. Humans do what they can for others. It's natural for us." Logan smiled, leaning back. "I can see that, and I'm grateful, more than I can say." The night passed quietly, the ranch bathed in the soft glow of artificial lights and the stars above. Mara slept lightly, always aware of the hum of the machines and the gentle breathing of the animals. She felt a sense of purpose she had never experienced before. She wasn't just traveling to a new planet, she was making a difference, saving a ranch, and helping someone recover from illness. The next morning, Mara woke early, eager to continue her work. She prepared a simple breakfast for Logan, ensuring he took his medication and hydrated properly. Then she reviewed the ranch's automated systems once again. She had noticed a pattern in the drone's behavior that might indicate an upcoming maintenance need. When Logan emerged, he looked healthier than the day before. "I'm ready to see what you've discovered," he said. Mara led him to the fields, explaining her observations and showing him how minor adjustments could prevent future problems. She demonstrated a small software tweak to the drone network, improving efficiency by coordinating the machine's tasks more effectively. Logan watched, amazed by her ingenuity. "You don't just help," he said. "You improve everything you touch." Mara smiled, feeling a warmth in her chest. "That's what humans do. We adapt, we solve problems, and we care about the world around us." By midday, they were traveling across the plains in one of the larger rovers, checking distant irrigation lines. Mara noticed a small herd of genetically enhanced livestock wandering near an unstable cliff. "We need to redirect them," she said, quickly devising a plan. Using gentle guidance, she led the animals to a safe area without causing panic. Logan watched in admiration, realizing that Mara's quick thinking had prevented a disaster. "You have a talent for this," he said. "I've never seen someone handle everything so calmly." Mara shrugged. "Humans can surprise themselves when they focus. We notice what others might miss." As the sun began to set again, painting the sky in gold and violet, they returned to the ranch. Logan's health had improved slightly, thanks to rest and Mara's careful attention. He began to trust her completely, recognizing that her presence was not just helpful, it was essential. That evening, they sat together in the control hub, reviewing the day's improvements. Mara highlighted small areas for further optimization, while Logan contributed his knowledge of the land and livestock. Together, they formed a perfect balance of experience and adaptability. "You know," Logan said quietly, "I think this ranch could thrive better than ever with you here." Mara looked at him, surprised by the sincerity in his eyes. "I didn't come here to change everything," she said. "I came to help, but it feels right, doesn't it?" "To make things better together," Logan nodded, a soft smile on his face. "Yes, it does." The twin suns set once more, casting a warm glow over the plains. Mara realized that this journey, originally meant to be a simple mail-order bride assignment, was becoming something much greater. She was not just a helper, she was a partner, a problem solver, and someone who could make a real difference. As night fell, the ranch hummed with life, machines, animals, and the quiet confidence of humans who never gave up. Mara felt a deep satisfaction, knowing that together, they could face any challenge the planet might throw at them. For the first time in her life, Mara truly felt at home. The morning sun rose over Caledon 7 in a soft golden haze, casting long shadows across the ranch. The air was crisp, carrying the scent of warm soil and blooming plants. Mara stretched, feeling the satisfaction of 2 full days of work. Her body was tired, but her mind was alive with curiosity. She had begun to understand the rhythm of the ranch, the movements of the machines, and the needs of the animals. Logan, too, was improving. His illness had left him weak, but the combination of rest, medication, and Mara's careful attention was slowly restoring his strength. Today, he insisted on walking with her as they made their rounds across the ranch. "You've already done so much," he said, shading his eyes against the sun. "I don't know what I would have done without you," Mara smiled. "Humans notice details others might miss, and when someone needs help, we act." Logan nodded. "I can see that. I thought machines could handle everything, but they can't replace someone who thinks, who notices, who cares." Their first stop was the northern fields, where rows of genetically enhanced crops grew in neat patterns. Mara noticed a small section where the water distribution seemed uneven. She knelt, examining the soil and checking the automated irrigation system. "If we adjust the flow here and recalibrate the pumps," she said, pointing to a small control panel, "these crops will get enough water and will reduce waste." Logan leaned closer, intrigued. "You're right. I never noticed that imbalance before." Within minutes, Mara had made the adjustments. The irrigation system hummed in a smoother rhythm, water flowing evenly across the fields. Logan watched, impressed. "You don't just fix problems," he said. "You prevent them." From there, they moved to the livestock pens. The animals, an assortment of alien and human-modified creatures, were generally well-behaved, but Mara noticed a few younger animals lingering near the edge of the enclosure. "They might wander if we don't guide them," she said. Using gentle gestures and soft whistles, she led them back toward the safe zone. Logan shook his head in amazement. "Most people would use fences or barriers. You use understanding." "That's how humans survive," Mara replied. "We observe, we adapt, and we work with what's around us." After tending the animals, Mara led Logan to the central hub where the ranch's automation systems were managed. She had discovered several areas that could be optimized. Some drones were working inefficiently, moving too slowly or duplicating tasks. Mara reprogrammed them with a few careful commands, coordinating their paths to save energy and time. Logan leaned against the console, clearly impressed. "I've managed this ranch for years, but I've never seen it operate like this. You've improved everything in just a few days." Mara smiled. "Humans are adaptable. We learn quickly and act decisively when needed." By mid-afternoon, they decided to check the water reservoirs, which supplied the entire ranch. Mara had noticed some inconsistencies the day before and wanted to ensure everything was functioning properly. They drove the small rover across the Golden Plains, the wind whipping gently against their faces. When they arrived, Mara examined the reservoir's control valves and filters. She discovered a minor blockage that could have caused a serious problem during the next irrigation cycle. With a few adjustments and careful cleaning, the flow returned to normal. Logan watched, shaking his head. "I don't know how you notice these things. I've walked past this reservoir every day and never saw the problem." "That's humans for you," Mara said. "We pay attention. We notice what's wrong and try to fix it. It's how we survive and thrive." As the sun began to lower, painting the sky in shades of orange and pink, Mara and Logan returned to the ranch house. Logan seemed more energetic, able to walk without his cane for short distances. The ranch, under Mara's careful attention, was running smoother than it had in months. That evening, as they sat on the porch, Logan spoke quietly. "Mara, I can't thank you enough. You've not only helped me, but you've saved the ranch." Mara shook her head. "I didn't do it alone. You know the land, the animals, and the systems. I just noticed things you might not have had time to see. Humans working together, that's how we achieve things." Logan smiled softly, looking at her with admiration. "I think I've underestimated humans. We can do more than machines, more than technology. We can adapt, solve problems, and care for each other in ways nothing else can." Mara nodded. "Exactly. And when we combine our strengths, we can overcome almost anything." The night passed quietly, filled with the gentle sounds of the ranch and the distant glow of stars. Mara slept soundly, feeling more connected to this place than she had to anywhere else. She was beginning to understand that this ranch was not just Logan's home. It was a place where human ingenuity and care could flourish. The following morning brought an unexpected challenge. A group of neighboring settlers had arrived, seeking to trade goods and share resources. Mara and Logan welcomed them warmly, showing them around the ranch. The settlers were impressed with the efficiency and order Mara had brought to the place. One of the settlers, a tall man with silver hair, raised an eyebrow. "Your systems are remarkable." "How did you manage all of this?" Mara smiled. "Observation, adaptation, and teamwork. Humans are good at noticing problems and solving them." The settlers nodded, clearly impressed. "We could learn a lot from you," another said. While Mara was busy explaining some of the systems, Logan noticed a minor problem in the energy grid. A small solar array had shifted slightly during the night, reducing power output. He called Mara over, who quickly devised a solution, adjusting the array and rerouting power temporarily. "You're incredible," Logan said, shaking his head. "I've never seen someone handle so many challenges with such calm." Mara laughed softly. "Humans don't panic. We observe, think, and act. It's what makes us us." The settlers stayed for several hours, exchanging goods and sharing knowledge. Mara learned a great deal about the neighboring lands, while Logan enjoyed the company and conversation. The day passed smoothly, but Mara knew that the ranch's true test was yet to come. As evening approached, a soft alarm sounded from the control hub. Mara and Logan rushed inside to find a minor system alert. One of the irrigation pumps was failing. Mara quickly analyzed the data, realizing that the pump could stop entirely if not addressed immediately. "Logan, we need to fix this now," she said calmly. "If it fails, a section of crops won't get water tonight." They drove to the pump station, Mara guiding Logan as he steadied himself. Together, they inspected the machinery. Mara noticed a small component that was worn and at risk of breaking. With a combination of her toolkit and Logan's experience, they replaced the part and restarted the system. The pump hummed to life, water flowing evenly once more. Logan let out a relieved sigh. "I don't know what I'd do without you," he said quietly. Mara smiled. "You'd manage. Humans always find a way, but it's easier when we work together." That night, as the twin suns set and the stars emerged, Mara reflected on the past few days. She had come here as a stranger, a mail-order bride, unsure of what to expect. Now she was part of something bigger, a living, breathing ranch, a human recovering his strength, and a network of systems that relied on both machines and human ingenuity. Logan joined her on the porch, handing her a cup of warm tea. "You've changed everything," he said softly. "Not just the ranch, but me. I feel stronger, more capable, alive again." Mara took the cup and smiled. "That's what humans do. We lift each other up, notice what needs fixing, and act. We survive, yes, but we thrive together." They sat quietly, watching the stars and the gentle glow of the ranch's lights. Mara felt a sense of belonging she had never experienced. She was not just a helper, not just a companion. She was a partner, a problem solver, and a part of something meaningful. As the night deepened, Mara and Logan made plans for the coming days. The ranch was stable, but challenges would continue to arise. Mara knew that with careful observation, teamwork, and human ingenuity, they could handle whatever came next. For Mara, this was only the beginning. She had arrived as a stranger, but she would remain as someone who made a difference. A human who saw, acted, and cared in ways no machine could replicate. The ranch hummed quietly under the night sky, alive with possibility, and Mara felt ready to face the future with Logan by her side. The morning on Caledon 7 began quietly, the golden light stretching across the plains. Mara woke early, as usual, eager to check the ranch's systems before the day fully began. She moved through the control hub, reviewing drone activity, water levels, and energy distribution. Everything seemed stable, at least for now. Logan emerged from his room, moving with a newfound energy. "Good morning, Mara," he said, smiling. "I think I slept better than I have in months." Mara smiled back. "Good morning, Logan. I'm glad to hear that. Let's start the day by checking the northern fields. The irrigation system seems stable, but I want to be sure." They walked together to the rover, and as they drove across the plains, Mara noticed a subtle shift in the sky. The light from the twin suns flickered oddly, casting sharp shadows. She frowned. "Do you see that?" she asked. Logan glanced up. "What is it?" "It could be a solar flare," Mara said cautiously. She had read about them during her training on other planets. Solar flares were rare but could temporarily disrupt electronics and energy systems. On a ranch like this, where automation and machinery were essential, even a brief disruption could be problematic. "Then we should prepare," Logan said. "We can't risk the ranch losing power." Mara nodded. "Exactly. Let's make sure everything has backup power and that critical systems can operate manually if needed." They arrived at the northern fields and began securing backup systems. Mara reprogrammed drones to switch to low-energy mode, while Logan checked the water pumps, ensuring they could function without relying entirely on automation. Mara also examined the livestock pens, making sure that gates could close automatically or manually to prevent animals from wandering during a system disruption. By midday, the sky had darkened slightly, the solar flare beginning to intensify. Mara studied the energy grid, calculating which systems needed priority in the event of a disruption. "We need to focus on water pumps, energy storage, and communications," she said. "Everything else can wait." Logan nodded. "All right, let's do it." Together, they moved quickly across the ranch. Mara coordinated drones to redistribute power efficiently, while Logan checked mechanical systems. Despite his lingering weakness, he worked diligently, following Mara's instructions and contributing his experience with the ranch's layout. The solar flare hit its peak in the late afternoon. Outside, the twin suns flickered, and the sky glowed with an unusual intensity. Inside the control hub, warning lights blinked, indicating minor surges in the energy grid. Mara and Logan remained calm, each trusting the other's judgment. "Remember, humans adapt," Mara said, adjusting the controls. "We observe, act, and improvise. We can handle this." Logan nodded, focusing on rerouting power to the water pumps. Mara adjusted drone patterns so that essential machinery remained active. The work required constant attention, but Mara's calm and steady guidance kept them on track. Hours passed, and the flare began to subside. The ranch had experienced minor power fluctuations, but Mara and Logan's preparation had prevented any major disruption. Drones resumed normal patterns, water flowed evenly to the fields, and the livestock were safely secured. Logan let out a deep sigh of relief. "We did it," he said, smiling at Mara. "I didn't think we could handle something like this so smoothly." Mara smiled back. "Humans are resilient. We face challenges and adapt. That's what makes us capable of surviving and thriving in unexpected situations." The next day brought a different kind of challenge. A shipment of essential supplies was delayed due to transport issues on a neighboring planet. Mara and Logan reviewed their inventory, realizing that they had enough to last a few days but not long-term. "We'll need to manage resources carefully," Mara said. "Water, food, and energy need to be rationed efficiently until the shipment arrives." Logan nodded. "We've faced challenges before. I trust your judgment." Mara organized the work for the day, coordinating drones to reduce energy usage and adjusting schedules for livestock feeding. She also instructed Logan on monitoring water levels more closely. The two worked seamlessly together, their teamwork evident in every decision and action. As they moved through the ranch, Mara noticed that some of the alien visitors from neighboring settlements had arrived, offering assistance. Mara welcomed them warmly, explaining the situation and assigning tasks that matched their skills. The visitors were impressed by her leadership and Logan's trust in her judgment. By evening, the ranch was running smoothly, despite the limited supplies. Mara and Logan sat on the porch observing the sunset. "You know," Logan said, "I never imagined that challenges like these could be opportunities. We've learned so much about the ranch, the systems, and each other." Mara nodded. "Humans thrive when we work together and face challenges. We find solutions, adapt, and grow stronger." The following days passed in a rhythm of preparation, maintenance, and monitoring. The solar flare had tested their ability to respond to unexpected events, and the delayed shipment taught them resourcefulness and patience. Each success built confidence, not only in the ranch's systems but in their partnership. One evening, as the stars emerged, Mara and Logan reflected on their experiences. "I've realized something," Logan said softly. "Humans aren't just survivors, we're innovators. We see problems and find solutions. We lift each other up." Mara smiled. "Exactly. We adapt, we solve problems, and we care. That's what makes humans special." Logan looked at her with admiration. "I think I underestimated you when I first met you. You've changed everything, not just the ranch, but me." Mara felt a warmth in her chest. "I didn't come here to change you, I came to help. But working together, it feels natural. It feels right." The ranch hummed quietly under the night sky, alive with life and energy. Machines moved efficiently, animals rested safely, and humans, Mara and Logan, worked together to maintain harmony. As the twin suns began to rise again, Mara prepared for another day, knowing that challenges would continue to come. But she also knew that with Logan by her side, and with the ingenuity, adaptability, and care that humans possessed, they could handle anything. That day, Mara took a moment to walk through the fields alone, observing the drones, the livestock, and the flowing water. She felt a deep sense of satisfaction and connection. This ranch was more than a home. It was a testament to human resilience and creativity. When she returned to Logan, he was already checking the systems, his energy renewed. Together they continued their work, solving small problems, making improvements, and ensuring the ranch thrived. "You know," Logan said as they walked back to the house, "I think the ranch is better than ever, and it's all because of human ingenuity, you and me working together." Mara laughed softly. "Yes, humans notice, adapt, and act. That's how we survive and thrive." As the sun set, casting golden light over the plains, Mara realized that this journey, originally meant to be a simple assignment, had become something extraordinary. She had arrived as a stranger, but she had found purpose, partnership, and a place where human skill and care made a real difference. The night passed quietly, filled with the gentle sounds of the ranch. Mara slept with a sense of accomplishment and belonging, ready for whatever challenges the next day might bring. For the first time, she understood that being human meant more than survival. It meant innovation, compassion, and the ability to lift others up. And on Caledon 7, with Logan by her side, she knew that humans could overcome anything. The morning on Caledon 7 was calm and bright, with twin suns spilling warm light across the golden plains. Mara rose early, as was her habit, and made her way to the control hub. She checked the ranch's systems one last time before breakfast. Everything was running smoothly. Logan joined her shortly after, walking with renewed energy and a genuine smile. "Good morning, Mara," he said. "I feel better than I have in a long time." Mara smiled back. "Good morning, Logan. I'm glad to hear that. Everything seems stable today. The ranch is running smoothly, thanks to our teamwork." He looked at her with admiration. "I don't know what I would have done without you. You came here as a stranger and turned this place around. Not just the ranch, you helped me find my strength again." Mara felt a warmth in her chest. Humans notice, adapt, and act. We care about the world around us and about each other. That's what makes us capable. Their morning continued with a tour of the ranch. Mara checked irrigation lines, monitored drones, and observed the livestock. Logan walked beside her, learning from her observations and contributing his own knowledge. Together, they were not just maintaining the ranch, they were improving it, making it more efficient, more resilient, and more harmonious with the land. Around midday, a small commotion near the docking bay caught Mara's attention. A shipment of supplies that had been delayed for weeks finally arrived. Robots and drones swarmed to unload crates of food, seeds, and equipment. Mara quickly coordinated the unloading process, making sure everything was stored properly and integrated into the ranch's systems. Logan watched in admiration as she directed each movement with precision. "You make this look easy," he said, shaking his head. Mara laughed softly. "It's not easy. It's observation, planning, and quick action. Humans excel when we combine those qualities." By late afternoon, the ranch was fully stocked and operating at peak efficiency. Mara and Logan stood together on the porch, overlooking the fields, the livestock, and the smoothly functioning systems. The air was filled with the hum of drones and the distant calls of animals returning to their pens. "You know," Logan said thoughtfully, "I thought I was managing the ranch well on my own. But I see now, humans working together can achieve more than any single person or machine ever could." Mara nodded. "Exactly. Humans notice details, adapt quickly, and solve problems creatively. That's why we thrive. And when we work together, we can overcome any challenge." Just as the suns began to set, casting long shadows across the plains, a gentle breeze carried news from the neighboring settlements. They had heard of the ranch's recent improvements and the teamwork that had stabilized it after the solar flare and supply delay. Several neighboring settlers arrived, offering congratulations and support. One of them, a tall man with kind eyes, approached Mara. "We've never seen humans work with such coordination and care. Your methods, your partnership, it's inspiring." Mara smiled politely. "We simply observed the problems, adapted, and acted. That's what humans do." The settlers nodded, clearly impressed. Logan stepped forward. "Mara has helped me see what humans are truly capable of: adaptation, problem-solving, and compassion. The ranch is thriving because of her and because humans work together." As night fell, Mara and Logan returned to the porch, sitting quietly beneath the stars. The ranch hummed gently, alive with life and energy, yet peaceful. Mara reflected on the journey that had brought her here, from a stranger stepping off a starliner, to a partner and problem solver who had saved a ranch, supported Logan, and proven the strength of human ingenuity. "You know," Logan said softly, "I was expecting a companion, someone to help around the house, but what I found was so much more. You changed everything, not just the ranch, but me." Mara looked at him, her eyes reflecting the starlight. "I didn't come here to change you. I came to help, but working together, supporting each other, it feels natural, it feels right." Logan reached for her hand. "I don't just want a partner for the ranch. I want a partner in life. Someone to face challenges with, to adapt with, to build the future with." Mara squeezed his hand gently, smiling. "I've realized the same. Humans are stronger when we work together, and I can't imagine facing this journey without you by my side." The next morning, Mara and Logan began a new phase of their partnership. Together, they created plans for expanding the ranch, improving efficiency, and introducing innovative methods to ensure long-term sustainability. Mara's insight and Logan's experience made them an unbeatable team. They also began training neighboring settlers and local workers, sharing the techniques Mara had introduced: observation, careful planning, and adaptive problem-solving. The neighboring settlements watched as humans collaborated, not through force or competition, but through ingenuity, care, and teamwork. Weeks passed and the ranch flourished. Crops grew evenly, livestock thrived, and automation ran smoothly, guided by human oversight. Mara and Logan worked side by side, their trust in each other deepening every day. One evening, as the suns dipped below the horizon, Mara stood at the edge of the northern fields, looking at the thriving crops. Logan joined her quietly. "It's incredible," he said softly. "I've never seen the ranch like this. I never imagined it could be so alive." Mara smiled. "Humans notice, adapt, and act. We thrive by observing, solving problems, and caring. And when we do it together, we can achieve more than we ever thought possible." Logan took her hand, looking into her eyes. "I'm glad you came here. I'm glad you didn't just follow the path expected of you. You saw what was needed and you acted. You changed everything for the better." Mara felt a deep sense of fulfillment. She had arrived as a stranger, unsure of her purpose. Now she had a place, a partner, and a home. She had witnessed the best of human ingenuity, care, and adaptability. "You know," she said softly, "this ranch, this place, it's more than a job. It's a reminder that humans can do amazing things when we notice, adapt, and act. We can solve problems, support each other, and build something lasting." Logan nodded. "And I want to build that future with you. Not just the ranch, but everything." Mara smiled, feeling the warmth of the plains and the quiet hum of life around them. "Then we will, together." As night fell, the stars reflected off the calm water canals, the drones hummed softly in the distance, and the animals rested peacefully. Mara and Logan stood together, holding hands, looking at the thriving ranch that had become a testament to human resilience, ingenuity, and care. For Mara, this was the true reward, a place where humans could flourish, a partner to share the journey with, and the knowledge that through observation, adaptation, and action, humans could overcome any challenge, without force, without violence, simply by being human. The ranch on Caledon 7 thrived, not just because of machines, but because of humans who noticed, adapted, and cared. And Mara knew, with quiet certainty, that this was only the beginning of many adventures yet to come. The twin suns rose the next morning, casting light on golden fields, humming machines, and the bond of two humans who had learned to face the universe together. And Mara knew that, no matter what challenges the galaxy might bring, humans, clever, adaptable, and compassionate, would always rise to meet them. The ranch was alive, the humans were ready, and the future was theirs to build.